Hello, my name is Gabriel and welcome to a new episode of Concierge OS. This one will be slightly easier, I thought, than the others. All our tools are written in a way which is pretty configurable, which is it receives a dictionary of columns from that table and values, and it keeps doing queries and filtering by stuff. This was good because it was allowing the LLM to specify the parameters that should be sent in order to create a query, and it was working fine. But I had a thought, what if instead of allowing just one value, what if we allow it to send a list of values? Because when we have to query for some rooms, we can send 1, 1, 1, 1. The problem is that after each response of a tool call, the LLM has to do some work inside to decide that it wants to create a new one, and this is token generation. So I thought, okay, if I can save this token generation by explaining to the LLM that it can send a list of parameters and IDs, then for sure it will speed things up. So I have refactored the queries that we had, and it kind of worked. But then I started getting mixed results. If we search in our performance tests, it is the same model with nothing. Our average is 1557. With a list of parameters, it's slightly worse actually. However, the maximum has dropped from 23 to 22, and the minimum has dropped also. So yes, it is working better. By providing a list of parameters, it is working better. We are saving maybe 1 second. But I could observe that the behavior still didn't go away. The LLM was still querying one field at a time for a specific tool. I think it was for a reservation tool. Then I have implemented this. Sports batch execution, you can pass a list of parameters, blah blah. This piece of text made more difference than all my improvements. So we went from 15 with 4 to 14, and we lost 1 second from the maximum response time. Why is that? That is because when we specify tools to the LLM, these tools are actually translated into text. So there is no magic. It's just a string of text. If we don't specify in the tool definition that, hey, it accepts a list of parameters and please send it as a list all the time, some models can infer this, some don't. It's that simple. Another improvement which we had to make is that, okay, we have 4 tools, but every time we had to maintain the documentation of the tool, and we had to specify which are the parameters of that tool and what they accept. So for once, we have decided to be wiser. So we have created a wrapper around this, and using Pydantic, we just take the type accepted by this function and we expose that type in the exteriors. So this will make it that our function, even if we add more tools, we go through the list of tools automatically because we put them in a tool registry. We go one by one, and from each function we extract the name of the function, which will always match, and the description of the function, the parameters and everything. And this allows us to easily manage more tools in the future. So, in conclusion, we have managed to save about 2 seconds on this model. Mind you, this is bigger model. So Gemma for us was one of the slower ones when it comes to tool calling. Quen was the faster one when it comes to tool calling. We can see this if we compare with the big Quen. Here in the first episodes, before implementing everything, we were in the 200s. This was super slow, and now we have managed to get to 80-90 seconds. Absolutely, 80-90 seconds is a lot. Nobody will wait for this. But we have managed to diminish the time by 50%. And if the caching would work, like in the case of this guy, we can get super fast. He was 33 milliseconds. So by implementing the list of parameters and describing that each function can accept a list of parameters, there is a possibility, if we improve later the caching mechanism somehow, to be able to use a big model and get insane speeds. That will be super cool because it will allow us to have a very smart model for big prompts that do a lot of computation inside, while still being super fast for very simple things. And this simple thing, we can fake this and hack this guest search. If we remember our last discussion with a 2 steps prompt, one for identifying IDs and the second one for actually calling, then this will be reduced to 5 or 10, because the second part of the prompt will be cached. The first part will be the expensive one, which looks at the list of guests and identifies which one of them is. But there is hope. So this was our improvement when it comes to tool calls and list of parameters in the tool call. So thank you very much for watching and see you in the next episode.